Looking for love guidance or tips on how to date someone? Maybe you're single and playing the dating game, or in a long-term relationship. There's something to be learned about how to recognize love. Tune in to True Love Knots by Maria Romano as she deep dives into everything about love, dating advice, wedding tips, entrepreneurship, and so much more. No matter your relationship status, Maria Romano has something to teach you about love, romance, staying together, breaking up, and everything in between.
Hello everybody, Maria Romano here. So just double checking to make sure that we're live on all of the different social media sites. I'm just waiting to hear back from tech support right now. They're going to let me know. So hopefully this will work. I came to you before and we had a few issues, but you know what? It's okay. That's why we try again. Okay. So anyway, welcome to my first live on LinkedIn. And actually, this is live on several platforms today. This is so exciting. Okay, let's double check to make sure we are. Okay, perfect. So for those of you that don't know me, again, my name is Maria Romano. I am the founder of True Love Knots. So I am a licensed minister in Las Vegas, Nevada, and this is my second career. I used to be in the car rental industry for many, many years. We owned a car rental company. We sold it in 2010, and I lost my husband in 2012. Frank, we married for over 33 years, and life changed. And as I said, I transitioned into becoming a licensed minister. I wanted to get involved in an industry where, you know what, it was not, it wasn't as high stress, although I shouldn't say that. You know, you do have couples that come in and there's a lot of anxiety that sometimes occurs on a wedding day, as we know. But I also talk to people about finding love again. And I created a course on how to officiate wedding ceremonies. But my passion and my purpose has always been being able to lead and being able to have people that you work with that lead with love, but also with kindness, and being able to make the right decisions. And that's what I'm here to talk to you about today, is how to remain calm under stress, duress, or chaos. And I know that kind of sounds like an oxymoron, doesn't it? But it's very important that you're able to do that, you know, that you're able to remain calm under stress, duress, and chaos. And I'm going to share with you some 3 tips that you can implement immediately into your life. But I want to just, first of all, take a moment and make sure before we start. First of all, if you have anything that you're drinking, make sure it's in an adult beverage sippy cup, just like me. I've got water here, but I don't want it spilling all over everything. And I am a big Hallmark person. So this is the time of year I love watching all the Christmas movies on Hallmark. And if you have something to eat, keep it right by you. I usually like to keep M&Ms right by me. They're easy, and they don't wind up smearing all over it, because a piece of chocolate is always great to have. And also, finally, anything that I'm going to share with you today, if you pop your email address in, okay, we're also going to give you a download free of the information I'm sharing with you. Because again, you know, we all know that life is not stress-free. And every day there are always challenges. And it doesn't matter if you're running a large company, medium company, you're leading a team, maybe you work from home and you're working with the team remotely, or maybe you're not working in the actual professional world, but you're working in your own personal life. You've got children, you're juggling a lot of different things. And guess what? Life happens and stress does occur. So it's just not an easy thing. Anyway, so let's talk a little bit about what stress can do to you. So take a moment and think about every time you become stressed, what happens to you? Your oxygen level decreases because what? You're taking in more breaths, right? You're breathing rapidly. Your blood pressure goes up. Okay, your heartbeats increase. Your triglycerides go up. Your cortisol level goes up. That's belly fat. I don't want belly fat. You don't want belly fat. Those are things that just occur when you become stressed. And then the body starts to tighten up. But what happens is the long-term effect, there's so many long-term effects that occur when you don't realize when you become stressed, because some people think, oh, but I really work well under stress. Well, you might think you do, but you're really not performing at your best. Okay. And the reason I say that is because every time you become stressed, what's happening with all these factors, you're increasing your chances of heart attack, stroke, diabetes. Your immunosuppressed system is suppressed, okay? So you're compromising your immune system, which opens you up for disease. Not to talk about depression. And for some of you, stress might cause you to eat more, stress eating, drink more. I'm talking about drinking more alcohol, maybe even soda as well, more caffeine. And also maybe you're a smoker. You're smoking cigarettes, or maybe you're smoking cannabis and you think that's going to calm you down. So these are things that occur every time you become stressed, even though you think, oh my gosh, I perform really well under stress. But what happens in the long-term effect is what you're doing is you're shortening your lifespan and you're increasing yourself for heart attack or stroke, which doesn't do anybody any good. So take a moment and think about what stress is doing in your life. And there's a great word that I heard on one of the podcasts not too long ago. And there's a word called equanimity. And equanimity means to remaining calm under stress, duress, or chaos. And a lot of athletes use this as a discipline. So think for a moment. Imagine if you were Tom Brady and it's the Super Bowl. And you're holding a football. He's holding a football in his hand, right? And you're holding that football. And that football you need to throw to make that goal, because you need those 3 points to win the Super Bowl. Talk about stressful. But that's what athletes do. They develop a discipline every day and practice how to remain calm under stress, duress, and chaos. And a lot of this is also being implemented as well into the corporate world and into the personal world too. And that's what I'm here to share with you about. And let's see, does my technical people say, great, okay, we're live everywhere. I'm so glad to hear that. Anybody that's out there that watches me, because they know I come quite a bit live on Facebook, I'm saying hi to everybody. All right, so let's get back to, again, I talked about what stress can do to the body. And think about what things happen in your life that trigger stress. So for example, maybe you are a stay-at-home parent and you're trying to get the kids out the door, whether they're taking the bus or you're meeting a carpool or a deadline, and then you find out, boom, there's something your child needs. What happens? Your stress level goes up. Maybe in the meantime, the dog or the cat is not feeling good. Stress level goes up. Maybe you're in the corporate world and you're walking in and you're feeling pretty good and you have your cup of coffee in your hand and somebody says something to you. What happens? It triggers off, oh my gosh, I was having a peaceful day, right? And something that triggers off, and then your stress level starts to increase. Maybe that's you. Or maybe you're getting ready to sit in front of your computer for a Zoom call and your internet goes down because you work remotely. There's so many different things that can trigger stress. And the first thing, what you need to do is identify, this is the first strategy, identify what these triggers are. Because that's what's important, is finding out what triggers your stress level. Okay, that's the first thing that you need to do. And when you do so, that's going to make all the difference in the world, is identifying that. Now, not to say that there aren't other things that are going to come into your life. So for example, for myself today, I knew I was on a time schedule. Okay. And I was trying to get ready for this live, and I wanted to get to the grocery store because I knew I was going to be doing a wedding later on. I'm going to the Grand Canyon. I want you to know my stress level is going up a little bit because the weather is not the best right now. For those that are living in Las Vegas, you can understand, but I'm used to flying with Maverick. But as I was coming through the door this morning with my groceries and the dogs are greeting me, and one of my plastic bags break and the blueberries go all over. They fall all over between the garage and my hallway. So needless to say, I had to take the time to pick up the blueberries, get the dog situated, put everything away because I was on a timetable. And maybe this is you. Maybe you're always on a time schedule as well. That stresses me too. So identifying what these triggers are make a difference. Because once you identify what sets you off, at least you know when that occurs, you can minimize it. You could recognize it. Oh, that usually causes me stress. So what could you do now to minimize that? So tip number 2 is you need to implement a daily habit of practicing how to be calm under stress, duress, and chaos. You might be thinking, what do you mean? I meditate or I exercise. Well, take a moment and let's talk about this here. Every morning you get up, you have a habit, a daily habits. You might brush your teeth first, right? You might make your coffee. You might exercise. You might feed the dogs, the cats, the kids. You might check your email. Those are automatic. You don't even need to think about those habits because they're daily habits. You just automatically work your way through that. It's an automatic. But now, if you want to start having more peace in your life, remaining calm, there's another daily habit you need to then implement. And that's a habit of finding something that helps you remain peaceful and calm. That's right. The only way you're going to be able to tackle controlling your stress level is you need to implement a daily habit of how to remain stress less, right? Less stress in your life. And there's a couple of different things you can do. So for example, if you're like me, I take the time and I like to meditate. I like to walk into a room where maybe it's dark and I shut the lights and I close my eyes and I get grounded and I just try to blank everything out. And that's might be you. Or maybe you want to pray. That might be what calms you. Or maybe you want to just sit outside or pet your animal. That calms you down. Or maybe for you, it's listening to music. Or maybe to reading the Bible. But in order for you to get control and get control of the anxiety and stress in your life is you need to implement this second step. Like I said, it needs to become a daily habit. And this is what high-functioning athletes do every day is they develop a habit, they add it in, of how to remain calm. And when you do this, I guarantee you do this for 30 days, that when your stress level starts to increase, you'll be able to reduce that anxiety. And you'll be able to have a clearer mind when you go about your day. And again, you have to go back, you have to think about this and see how you're going to implement this into your life in order for you to remain calm under stress, duress, and chaos. And again, we all have days where we can think we handle everything. And we think that just because we're not showing that stress level, we're internalizing that stress. Even though you might not vocally say, gosh, I feel overwhelmed. Gosh, I feel stressed. Internally, your stomach might be in knots, right? And that's why it's important to develop a daily habit of that. So first, we go back to number 1, identify what triggers your stress level. Now, it doesn't mean you can't avoid it, what triggers it, so that you know. Second thing is try to find a daily habit of what you can implement in your life that works for you. And again, it might just be turning on a comedy in the morning for 5 minutes, something that just gets you to relax, whatever it is, whether it's praying, whether it's meditating, whether it's listening to music, maybe it's reading scriptures, maybe it's finding inspirational quotes, whatever it is, you need to find and implement that into your life every day. And I guarantee you 30 days, you're going to be able to maybe handle just about anything. And then the third thing is the most important, and that's self-care and self-love. And sometimes we forget to take care of ourselves. I mean, think about the lion, right? That mighty lion in the jungle. And that mighty lion in the jungle, He takes care of everyone. He's fierce, right? And he's fearless. But does anybody ever take the time to ask the lion, how are you doing? And that's where that self-care, self-love comes in. Because you might have people in your life that are looking, that you're leading, whether it's your team of people, whether it's a company, whether it's your family, your friends, or maybe you're part of a community group. But do they ever ask you, how are you doing? Because you are always stoic. You're always there. You try to take charge. But that's where you need to implement that self-care, self-love element is so important. And for you, it might be laying in a hot tub, right? Listening to music. Maybe it's a massage. Maybe it's spending time with your animals, your children. Maybe it's exercising. But taking care of yourself is so critical, so important in order for you to be able to provide and to be able to give the best of yourself to everyone around you, but most of all you. Because you know yourself, when you feel good and you have clarity and you're making the right decisions for everyone around you, it's because you are grounded. You're in alignment with who you are. And in order for you to get in alignment with who you are, you have to, again, identify what triggers off your stress, what you can implement as a daily habit every day, so that you can minimize when stress does come at you. And it's going to come at you. It comes at us in all different ways. And the third is practicing that self-care, self-love. Because when there's all chaos going on around you and people are unable to focus and function, but you're standing there in that crowd, able to, that makes all the difference in the world. I mean, think about it. But you have to start developing those practices and taking care of yourself and loving yourself and doing the things to reward yourself. It's no different. We've all heard the analogy where the flight attendant comes on and says, make sure in case of emergency that you put the oxygen mask on yourself and then on your child, if you have a child with you. Well, let me tell you something. That flight attendant, when that situation occurs, that flight attendant is going to put the mask on himself or herself first, because they're not going to do anybody any good by taking care of you. They need to take care of themselves so they can lead you. And you as a leader need to remember that in order for you, as well, and for some reason, I don't know what happened, but I came off and I'm coming back on. So let's see what happened here. It seems like I am live again. Okay. And I apologize. Maybe the internet's going up and down. So again, that analogy, think about that flight attendant that's telling you to put on your oxygen mask. They're putting the oxygen mask on themselves, and that's who you are. So you need to make sure that you're identifying the triggers in your life. You need to make sure that you're implementing some habit that is a habit that makes you feel peaceful and tranquil every day. And the third is giving yourself self-love, self-care. And I guarantee when you go through all these steps, you're going to feel like you have better control in your life. Now, if you're interested in learning more about me and what I do, please head over to my website, trueloveknots.com. And like I said before, and I started out with, you want to be able to provide the best of yourself. And again, these tips are available and you can download this PDF. Make sure you put in your email address somewhere in the link. And if there's any one of you that, please let me know if what you implemented in your life that's helping you, because I want you to check back. I'm going to check back with you in a couple of weeks. I want to see how it's going and how you're doing, because it's important. I want to see you function and function at the best way you know how to function, with lots of clarity, being tranquil, and most of all, coming from a place of love. So in the meantime, continue to stay healthy, happy, and safe. And my friends, have a great day and spread love. I'm going to go marry some couple in the Grand Canyon. Bye.